Intrinsic value. What is intrinsic value? Intrinsic value is the real value something has on its own. Okay? In this video, we will be challenging this statement right here. Cash is king. How many of y'all heard that, man? Cash is king. Well, I'm here to break that philosophy right here, right now. And the best way for me to do this is if I use a exercise so that way you guys can participate and I know that you're understanding what's really going on here, okay? So intrinsic value is the real value something has on its own. So I want you to imagine you walking down the street and you find yourself a $20 bill, right? Okay? That $20 bill is just paper because without man putting value on it, saying that it's worth $20, we have to look at what it actually is. And it's just paper, guys. Like, it has no real value on its own. All right, I'm about to prove it right here. So I got this, I'm gonna do this right here, bam. I got this exercise for y'all. So I'm gonna put gold and silver right here. And I'm gonna put cash on this side. All right, y'all stick with me. Y'all stick with me. Y'all stick with me, man. All right, so gold and silver, all right? Gold, I'm gonna say gold and silver has way more intrinsic value than cash. Why? Because if I am walking down the street and I come across some gold, the first thing I'm gonna think of is, wow, this is a gold bar. I can do what with this? Well, gold and silver have many different properties other than it just being gold and silver. You can heat gold and silver up. You can melt it. You can freeze it. You can chop it up. You can do whatever you want with gold. You know what I'm saying? It's gold. So the first thing about gold is it's scarce. All right. So already, I spelled that wrong. Scarcity. How do you spell it? City. Scarcity, all right? It's already scarce. Gold and silver is scarce. Is cash scarce? Yes or no? No, it is not scarce, all right? So that's already one leg up on cash, all right? The thing about cash is it's made out of paper. We can always go cut a tree down and print some more cash. See, gold and silver, there's only a limited supply, okay? So if I come across gold, I have found something that is rare. Cash, if you come across a $20 bill, cash is not rare because it's just paper, all right? You can print more paper. You can always have paper, all right? So with that being said, that already tramples over cash because it's rare. It's like a ruby. What else can we do with gold and silver? Well, we can use it in technology. We can use it in technology. Let me ask you a question. Can you use cash? Can you make technology out of cash? The answer is no. No, you cannot. Why? Because it's paper, okay? You have to understand that gold and silver is in the very device you're watching me on, okay? Gold and silver are in cameras. Gold and silver are in computers. Gold and silver are in TVs, okay? We can use gold and silver for so many different things other than saying I have gold, okay? I can say, well, I have a phone that has gold in it. Not just, oh, I have a ton of gold. No. Gold has way more intrinsic value than just stacking up for some money and some cash. No, gold is used for everything. Silver is used for a lot of technology, okay? So, what else can it do? Well, it can also conduct electricity. Trish, it can conduct electricity. Can cash conduct electricity? Guess what? The answer is no. Why? Because cash is just paper, and gold and silver has many other different ways of being used, okay? We can only use paper for writing, setting stuff on fire, and it's just paper, man. Like we can use, look at all the properties gold and silver comes with. You walking down the street and you find gold and silver, you found scarcity, you found something that is scarce. you found technology, and you found a conductor for electricity. Also, it's used for dentistry. It's also used for dentistry. Let me ask you something. Is cash, have you ever found someone with cash in their mouth? Or have you seen somebody with a gold grill before? Right. You can't put cash in your mouth. You don't put paper in your mouth, all right? But you can put gold and silver in your mouth. Why? Because gold and silver is its intrinsic value on its own is way more than cash, okay? You have to understand that cash has no intrinsic value other than being paper, all right? Don't believe me? Well, let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Because I can keep going if y'all don't believe me. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Oil, okay? What can we use oil for? Well, we can use oil. There's oil in plastic. Let me ask you something. When have you ever found cash in plastic? When have you ever found paper in plastic? You haven't. It doesn't exist. It's not possible. It's not possible. What else can we use oil for? Well, we can use oil for fertilizer. When was the last time? I don't know if I spelled that right, but that's fertilizer. When was the last time you put cash in fertilizer so your crops can grow? It doesn't happen. Never. It doesn't happen. Cash is just getting, look, would you rather have gold and silver, or would you rather have a bunch of cash? The answer is gold and silver, because look at all the industries you can enter. You can enter the technology field with gold. You can enter the electricity field with gold. You can enter the dentistry industry with gold. Would you rather have oil or cash? You would rather have oil, because you can go into the plastic industry. You can go into the fertilizer industry. What else can oil do? Oh yeah, of course. It runs America. Diesel. I did not spell that right, bro. Diesel and gas. Just know that's diesel and gas. Can we run our cars if we put cash inside of our tanks? The answer is no. All right. So in this simple exercise, I've showed you the true intrinsic value of cash. All right. Cash has no intrinsic value other than it being paper. Okay. We have to remove the, oh, well, I pay for this in cash and I pay for that in cash. I understand you're using the paper to pay for things, but you have to understand that intrinsic value on its own is the actual product without it being valued, okay? If we just found a gold silver bar, we can utilize that gold silver bar for technology, electricity, dentistry. If we found a paint of oil, we can use it for plastic, fertilizer, and diesel. If we found some cash, all we can do with it is use it as paper. We can write on paper, okay? We can use toilet paper, all right? That's about it. We can set paper on fire. Now, I get it. We use cash to buy things, but right now I'm talking about the intrinsic value, because most people say cash is king, but it seems like everything else I can benefit from way more. I can benefit with oil way more. I can get more money with oil. I can go in more industries, but with cash, all it is paper. All right? I'm glad y'all understand. Now, let me give y'all a little history lesson on cash. Give y'all a little history lesson on cash. All right. Give y'all a little history lesson on cash, man. All right. Intrinsic value. All right. So, this is going to be my timeline. This is a timeline. This is 1970. This is 1971. All right. So, cash. We're talking about cash right now. In 1970, gold, make me a little gold bars. In 1970, gold was backing the dollar, okay? Gold is backing the US dollar. All right? So if I seen you with a $20 bill back in 1970, that tells me you have $20 worth of gold. Just as an example, if I seen you with a $100 bill, that tells me you have $100 worth of gold in the bank. This is back in 1970. If you're walking around with $1, that tells me you have some type of gold in the bank. But what happened in 1971 is President Nixon came in the office. President Nixon came into office in 1971, and he took us off the gold standard. This was called the gold standard. All right. This is called the gold standard. President Nixon came in 1971, took us off the gold standard. So this dollar now, this US dollar, is no longer backed by gold, okay? So if I see a person with a $20 bill, that tells me nothing about his wealth. That tells me nothing about what he actually has that is valuable. Because remember, intrinsic value is just the paper itself, all right? So the paper itself is not telling me how much value he actually has, how much value he actually has. This paper just tells me he has a piece of paper, and he did some type of service to get this piece of paper. But in true reality, I believe that President Nixon took us off the gold standard so we could focus on cash, 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 cash. Just cash, cash. We need to go get more money. We got to grind, hustle, hustle and play, while we missed the true value, okay? A lot of us were working so hard to get this cash, but we don't understand that cash is literally worthless, okay? It's just paper. But if we had gold, this stuff doesn't rust. This stuff will last for eons, or however long the earth is going to be here. But paper is not, okay? You have to understand what real value is, okay? If I have gold, I am wealthy. If I have cash, I am not. Why? Because cash is a depreciating asset. Cash goes down over time. It is worth less. Why? Because it's paper, guys. The intrinsic value of cash is paper. It's not a real valuable source. You holding your wallet cash doesn't tell me that you're rich, okay? It tells me that you don't understand what intrinsic value is. Because if you really wanted to flex, you would show me how much gold you have, okay? If you really wanted to flex, you would show me how much gold you have. Why? Because gold is a appreciating asset, okay? Gold goes up over time. It is worth more over time. Gold will forever be used as a currency, okay? This cash was man-made. It's artificial, all right? You cannot make up gold. No man can make gold. They can only find it. You can make cash all day, guys. You have to understand this cash money, cash is not king, okay? What is king is commodities. Commodities. Commodities, all right? That is king. If you have a lot of gold, if you have a lot of oil, if you have a lot of silver, those are the things that are going to make you wealthy for a lifetime. Having just cash is not sustainable, guys. It's a depreciating asset. It goes down over time, all right? Your money, your cash means nothing, all right? What means something is gold and silver. Why? Because you can go into the technology field. You can go into the electricity field. You can use dentistry with. That's what matters in life. If my mouth hurts, I need a gold tooth so that way my mouth can start hurting. Putting paper in my mouth isn't going to fix the problem, but if I have gold, it will. This makes gold infinitely more valuable than cash. I hope you guys understand. Thank you for taking this segment of the video, and I hope you continue on in my course.